This is 22 News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 6. I'm Ciara Speller.
And I'm Nick Oresko. We begin tonight at 6 with breaking news in two communities, Agawam and Russell.
And we're going to begin with a massive fire burning in Russell. This is a live look from our camera on top of the Tavern restaurant in Westfield. This fire is burning on Warrenoko Road in Russell, and there's so much smoke. You can see the fire burning from our camera in downtown Springfield. Take a look at that. The Russell Fire Department and several mutual aid fire departments are there right now. People are being asked to avoid the area as they work to put out that fire. 22 News has a crew on the way and will bring you more details as soon as we get them.
Also breaking tonight at 6, a massive investigation underway in Agawam. More than a dozen emergency vehicles are lining Route 57. That's Feeding Hills Road at the Agawam-Southwick line. Right now the road is open. The first responders appear to be working in the woods on the other side of this guardrail. Our 22 News crew saw an ATV going into the woods with a stretcher on the back. 22 News will continue to cover this story and bring you new information as soon as it becomes available. Well, meantime, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention said the Omicron subvariant known as BA.5 now makes up 80% of new COVID cases in the United States.
But what makes this subvariant different from others? 22 News reporter Kate Wilkinson is live in West Springfield with what health experts are saying.
According to UC Davis, this subvariant spreads far more than other variants we've seen thus far. Now, taking a look at COVID locally today, Bay State Health reported there are 85 hospitalized patients with COVID. 2 are in critical care. That's up by 30 patients from last month. However, with fewer in critical care. Experts say the most recent subvariants are better at getting around the vaccine and antibodies than original Omicron variant. President Biden, who tested positive for COVID last week, had both the vaccine and both booster shots. However, the White House believes he was infected with BA.5, that subvariant.
Vaccines, even against serious illness, are not as effective. Their effectiveness, about 4 months out after getting that, say your booster, it does go down.
According to the CDC, Western and Central Massachusetts remain in the green, which means low risk of COVID transmission. Now, the symptoms for BA.5 include fever as well as fatigue, sore throat, many of the things that we've already seen with COVID when it comes to these symptoms. We're live in West Springfield. Kate Wilkinson, 22 News.
Now to New Hampshire, where the trial got underway today for the West Springfield man accused of killing 7 motorcycle riders in a crash. Dana Casulo was in Coos County Superior Court in Lancaster for those opening statements.
We're about 30 minutes west of Randolph, the small town where the crash happened in 2019. Volodymyr Zhukovsky is accused of driving drunk. He faces numerous charges, including negligent homicide. But defense attorneys say one of the motorcycle riders is at fault.
I caused the accident. I wasn't looking. Those are the words of the man who caused all this.
3 years after the crash that killed 7 people on a rural New Hampshire road, the man charged in the case went on trial. In opening statements, prosecutors say Volodymyr Zhukovsky has already confessed.
He admitted he wasn't paying attention. He admitted he crossed the yellow line. He admitted he snorted drugs before getting behind the wheel that morning. And he admitted he caused the crash.
The crash involved members of Jarhead's Motorcycle Club. 5 Marine veterans and 2 of their loved ones were killed. But defense attorney Steve Merkin said it was the fault of lead biker. He says Albert Woody Mazza looked back over his shoulder and veered toward Zhukovsky's truck.
Volodymyr Zhukovsky is not the one who caused this accident. He's not the one who was impaired. Albert Woody Mazza was drunk, was not looking where he was going, lost control of his motorcycle. Al Mazza caused this accident.
Merkin says Zhukovsky had taken drugs the day of the crash, but says there was no evidence that Zhukovsky was impaired at the time of the crash.
Common sense tells you, and experts in the field will tell you, that one may have substances in one's body and not be impaired in their ability to drive.
After the opening statements came the first witnesses, including a woman who stopped to help.
We started walking up, and all of a sudden we saw some smoke on the left of us. And when we were walking up, somebody came running down and said, does anybody have any medical attention? When we went over the hill, we ended up seeing from dead bodies to debris everywhere and to people on the side, semi-harmed, but just a little bit shooken.
Thompson is one of potentially 100 witnesses set to testify. Family members of the victims were in court but did not want to speak on camera. The trial is expected to last for 3 weeks. Working for you in Lancaster, New Hampshire, Dana Casulo for 22 News.
No bail for a Belchertown man charged in connection with a deadly shooting in Springfield last year. Victor Oquendo was arraigned today in Springfield District Court. He's charged with murder in connection with the death of 22-year-old Charlene Figueroa. The victim was found shot and killed inside a vehicle on West Alvord Street back in November. A second person was also shot and killed during this incident, but Oquendo is not charged with that death. He's due back in court August 25th.
The Westfield Police Department is paying tribute to the late officer Jose Torres, who was killed in the line of duty 10 years ago today. A cruiser draped in purple and black was on display outside Westfield Police Headquarters in remembrance of Officer Torres. He was working a construction detail on Patusic Road when he was struck and killed by a dump truck on July 26, 2012. Officer Torres worked 27 years for the Westfield Police Department. He was 53 years old.
A new study from AAA shows that Americans are hitting the roads less as gas prices and other costs of living remain high. 22 News reporter Kaylee Collins is live in Springfield to explain the findings.
AAA has found that people have made significant changes to their driving habits due to the surging price of gas. The three most common types or changes to driving patterns included simply driving less, combining errands, and reducing shopping or dining out. And it's not just gas prices that are fueling the driving cutback, it's inflation in general that has people spending less time on the roads. 22 News spoke with 2 Springfield residents doing some grocery shopping today. They say even if gas prices were lower, other costs need to come down more for them to go out.
If everything goes down, it's easier for us to go out when it's less money. We enjoy more of the time outside, buy more food to eat, buy different stuff. But now with the prices high, so it's a lot of difficult for a lot of people.
There are ways to ease the pain at the pump. AAA recommends keeping your vehicle in top shape, reducing speed while on the highway, and mapping out your route ahead of time to avoid heading backwards. Working for you live in Springfield, Kaylee Collins, 22 News.
And now the 22 News Storm Team forecast.
Quick look outside. Northampton, scattered clouds and ooh, nice blue sky. When the humidity drops, we get that haze out of the way and we can see the blue sky. Good to see it. All right, temperatures right now are in the low 70s to 80 degrees, depending on where you are. South Hadley, you're at 80, 79 in Cummington, 74 in Wendell, 77s in Agawam and Greenfield, and Palmer at 73, and we're also in the 70s right now in the Berkshires. Here's our 22 News Storm Team nightcast. Humidity remains low, sky is clearing, wind will be light, so it's going to be a cool night tonight. 77 right now, mostly sunny at 7 o'clock. You can see this clearing trend this evening. 74 at 7, 69 degrees at 9 o'clock, and 63 at 11. All of us get down into the 50s here overnight, so a brisk start, but the humidity will return. We'll show you when with the 22 News Storm Team 7-day forecast.
Well, the chances are steadily rising that someone will win tonight's massive $830 million Mega Millions jackpot.
But will it be you? Wishful thinking, but it's unfortunately unlikely. That's because while a surge in sales means more possible number combinations are covered for the jackpot, your odds of winning remain the same. They're 1 in 302.5 million.
If hit, the $830 million jackpot would be the 3rd largest jackpot in the history of the game and the 4th largest in the U.S. lottery. The cash option is an estimated $487.9 million. And be sure to join us tonight on 22 News at 11 for that winning combination.
climate activists gathered outside the State House today. I'm 22 News reporter Ellen Fleming, and I'll tell you what they're calling on the governor to do.
Plus, Governor Baker has signed into law a bill that bans discrimination based on hairstyles.
And later, former President Donald Trump was back in Washington today for the first time since leaving office. We'll tell you why. You're watching 22 News at 6.
You're watching 22 News at 6.
Governor Charlie Baker signed the Crown Act today, a bill that bans bias based on hairstyle in the state of Massachusetts. The legislation specifically prohibits discrimination based on natural and protective hairstyles such as braids, locks, twists, and other formations. It's rooted in the case of a Massachusetts charter school that was under scrutiny in 2017 for a policy that banned hair braid extensions. Massachusetts is the 18th state to adopt the measure.
Formal lawmaking ends in just 5 days. 22 News State House reporter Ellen Fleming attended a rally today to help push legislation over the finish line.
Climate activists alongside lawmakers rallied on the State House steps today to urge Governor Baker to sign the latest climate bill. The House and Senate passed their respective climate bills earlier this year. Just last week, the conference committee tasked with finding a compromise between the two bills filed their report, and it was immediately passed through both chambers. The bill now sits on the governor's desk, where he has the power to amend or veto the legislation. If he vetoes the legislation after the legislative session ends on July 31st, the bill will die. Activists spoke on the importance of passing this legislation for the future of our planet. Aspects of the bill include expanding the state's offshore wind industry, removing biomass from the state's renewable portfolio standard, and ending all mass-save incentives to install fossil fuel in buildings, except when fuel is needed as backup. It would also make Massachusetts a leader in climate goals by mandating statewide energy reporting standards for existing large buildings.
85% of the large buildings in the city of Boston, for example, that will exist in 2050 have already been built. We need to know what's happening with those buildings from an energy perspective.
The bill would also expand the state's electric vehicle program by increasing the rebate from $2,500 to $3,500. Also, by the end of 2035, all vehicles sold in Massachusetts would need to produce zero emissions. The legislation also requires for the MBTA's entire bus fleet to be emission-free by 2040. Working for you at the State House in Boston, Ellen Fleming, 22 News.
Great Falls Farmers Market is tomorrow afternoon. Should be another delightful day for this. 85 degrees at 2 o'clock, mostly sunny 5 o'clock and 86. We do have the chance for some 90-degree heat and some thunder and lightning before the end of the week. I'll show you when with the 22 News Storm Team Skycast.
And now, the 22 News Storm Team forecast with meteorologist Brian Lapis.
22 News Storm Team forecast for the next 3 days. Tomorrow, another bright day, a little bit warmer. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s, and then upper 80s here on Thursday with a chance of some thunder and lightning on Thursday afternoon. Scattered showers on Friday with a high of 82. Doesn't look like Friday will be a total rain out, but I do expect that there'll be a few raindrops around on Friday. We'll continue to refine that forecast as we get closer to the end of the week. And here we are Tuesday evening with the clouds starting to clear out. We're starting to see that on our live cameras outside, and you can really see the difference here on the wide view of the clouds and radar. The clouds moving out as this clearer air moves in. So plan on it. Light breeze, dry air, clear sky. We cool down in a hurry tonight with temperatures that'll be quickly dropping through the 70s into the 60s, and our overnight temperatures will be in the 50s. Notice clear here at 11 o'clock and mostly clear tomorrow morning at 5. And as we go through the first half of the day here tomorrow, mostly sunny, bright at 7 a.m., 9 o'clock bright, and then we go to noontime, a few scattered clouds at noon, and a few more clouds here mid-afternoon tomorrow. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But we're still dry, and fair weather continues here not only tomorrow during the day, but tomorrow evening. There will be an increase in humidity tomorrow night into early Thursday. You'll notice it when you wake up Thursday morning for sure. This is 7 o'clock Thursday morning, a few clouds around, so mixture of sun and clouds, and as early as noon on Thursday, some scattered showers, and then during the afternoon, the mid to late afternoon, here's 3 o'clock Thursday, here come some scattered thunderstorms as well for Thursday afternoon. If you have outdoor plans for Thursday, keep in mind that we could be dealing with some thunder and lightning on Thursday. Here's our 22 News Storm Team forecast for tonight. Mostly clear, overnight low 52 to 58. 22 News Storm Team countycast here for tomorrow. Another dry day, bright day, low humidity, 88 in Springfield, 87 tomorrow in Palmer. In the hills, we're a little cooler. Middlefield, you'll be at 82. 87, though, in Northampton and Amherst, 86 in Belchertown. Partly sunny to mostly sunny in Franklin County, 86 in Greenfield, 85 in South Deerfield and Orange. And in the Berkshires tomorrow, 83 in Lee and 85 in North Adams. 22 News Storm Team 7-day forecast. Mostly sunny here tomorrow, mid-80s, upper 80s, more humid. Watch out for thunderstorms Thursday afternoon. Scattered shower or two possible here on Friday. And then the weather clears just in time for the weekend. Look at that. Sun cloud mix 85, low humidity on Saturday. Mostly sunny 86 on Sunday. Back up to 87 on Monday, and then near 90 here on Tuesday. We'll continue to track the cool air for tomorrow morning's commute on 22 News at 10 on the CW Springfield and 22 News at 11. Weather anytime on the free 22 News app for your mobile device.
All right, and now here's a look at what's coming up tonight on News Nation.
Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation, a News Nation exclusive. I sit down with former CNN anchor Chris Cuomo for his first television interview since leaving CNN. What he's doing now, what he's doing next, and some tough questions about the past. Are you angry at your brother at all about everything that happened?
I'm angry at my brother on a regular basis. But specifically to your question, I love my brother. It was about helping my brother in a hard way and doing it in a way that I didn't think compromised what matters. But I'm telling you, I never lied, and there were no secrets.
It's an exclusive you'll only see on News Nation. See you tonight.
And that's all coming up tonight on the fastest growing cable news network in America, News Nation. Available on cable and satellite stations you see here listed on your screen. But you can also head to newsnationnow.com.
We are continuing to cover that breaking news tonight in Russell. This is a live look from our crew on Orinoco Road. You can see that massive fire burning inside a mill. Firefighters from multiple communities are working to put out that fire. Smoke is visible for miles. It can be seen from our live cameras both in Westfield and in Springfield. Police are asking people to avoid the area. Stay with wwlp.com and the 22 News mobile app for updates throughout the night, and we will have a live report coming up tonight on 22 News at 11.
For the first time since leaving the White House, former President Donald Trump returned to Washington today.
He continues to push election fraud lies even as the committee investigating the January 6th insurrection releases more evidence about the former president's actions that day. NBC's Chris Pallone is in Washington with that story.
Former President Donald Trump back in Washington speaking about law and order to a group of conservative activists.
Well, I want to thank everybody, and it's wonderful to see so many friends.
Earlier, his vice president, Mike Pence, addressed the rift between the two men stemming from the January 6th Capitol attack.
I don't know that the president and I differ on issues, but we may differ on focus. I truly do believe that elections are about the future.
It comes amidst new revelations that Mr. Pence's former chief of staff, Mark Short, testified before a federal grand jury last week. Perhaps a sign the Department of Justice's January 6th investigation is expanding. As the DOJ hones in on former President Trump's attempts to maintain power, Attorney General Merrick Garland insisted no one is above the law in an exclusive interview today with NBC's Lester Holt.
We intend to hold anyone who was criminally responsible for the events surrounding January 6th, for any attempt to interfere with the lawful transfer of power from one administration to another, accountable. That's what we do.
Both speeches not far from the Capitol, where Trump supporters violently tried to stop Congress from certifying Joe Biden's election victory last year. Monday, President Biden slammed his predecessor.
The police were heroes that day. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
The committee investigating January 6th has released new details about Mr. Trump's refusal to condemn the rioters the day after the attack, showing parts of his speech he crossed out, including the line, "I want to be very clear, you do not represent me." Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
Clear skies means an opportunity to see the International Space Station tonight at 9:08. Take a look to the northwest. The ISS will be moving northwest to east-northeast from 9:08 to 9:13, and more sunshine here for tomorrow, tracking the arrival of more rain later in the week with the 22 News Storm Team's 7-day forecast.
Here's what the night team is working on for 22 News at 11. We're continuing to cover breaking news in Russell, where a massive fire is burning in a mill. Plus an update on the situation in Agawam, where a large police investigation was underway on the Southwick Town line. And a look at the highlights from the first day of the Zurkowski trial. That's all tonight at 11.
Dry weather continues tonight. It'll be cool, mostly clear skies, evening temperatures into the 60s before 10 o'clock. And then overnight we get down into the 50s, a high of 86 tomorrow. We'll call it 84 to 88. Mostly sunny, low humidity tomorrow. Tomorrow night the humidity starts to increase and it'll be a muggy day here on Thursday with high temperatures of 86 to 90. Some showers and thunderstorms are likely Thursday afternoon. We could also see a few showers on Friday, 82. Weekend looks good, 85 degrees on Saturday, mostly sunny on Sunday and 86, and then mid to upper 80s Monday and Tuesday of next week.
It was a good summer day to be outside.
It was very comfortable out there.
Yeah, not oppressively
No,
hot.
not humid.
All right, thanks for joining us on 22 News at 6. NBC Nightly News is next.
22 News is back tonight at 11. Log on to our website anytime for the latest news and weather. Have a great evening, everyone.
More people in Western Massachusetts get their news from 22 News than any other source.